Namaste and welcome to the BAPS Akshardham Spotlight. I'm your host, Ria Soni, and today we commence our weekly feature dedicated to the Festival of Inspirations organized during the Akshardham Mahotsav here at Swaminarayan Akshardham in Robbinsville, New Jersey. In today's Spotlight, we'll be highlighting everything from what's happening on the grounds of the festival to volunteer stories, to kids' news and activities, to inspirational moments, and much more. So let's get started with this week's Spotlight. In our first segment, we will go in depth and explore a part of the dynamic Akshardham campus. Our journey today starts at a space created exclusively for the Akshardham Mahotsav, the Yagna tent. This may be a temporary space, but what happens here will lay the foundations for generations on the grounds of this campus. Join me as we highlight exactly what a Yagna is.
Yagna, an age-old tradition of the eternal Vedic civilization. Yagna, an occasion to connect with the divine. Yagna, an all-encompassing ritual performed using a combination of the 5 great elements. A yagna teaches the principle of dedication. A yagna inspires pure and virtuous actions. A yagna purifies one's mind. That is why the scriptures have glorified yagnas, pronouncing them to be the form of God. Bhagwan Sri Ramchandra himself encouraged the performance of yagnas and explained their importance. Bhagwan Sri Krishna nurtured this Vedic tradition by encouraging the Pandavas to also perform yagnas. Bhagwan Sri Swaminarayan kept this tradition alive by performing non-violent yagnas. Now, we witness another glorious chapter of this divine tradition of yagnas. On American soil, in the state of New Jersey, the ground of the newly built Swaminarayan Akshardham is resounding with the chanting of Vedic mantras. This Akshardham was created through the determination, perseverance, and blessings of His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj, the 5th spiritual successor of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. Under the guidance and blessings of Pramukh Swami Maharaj's spiritual successor, His Holiness Mahant Swami Maharaj, the longest Mahayagna will be performed on American soil. For a span of 2.5 months, the entire atmosphere will be filled with the blissful haze that emanates from the sacred yagna. Let us receive the blessings of our Gurus by taking part in this yagna in the divine presence of His Holiness Mahant Swami Maharaj in the vast premises of Akshardham Mahamandir, built on the soil of America through the divine wish of His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj, who has upheld and nurtured the age-old tradition of performing grand yagnas. On the auspicious day of Ashadh Sud Atham, His Holiness Mahant Swami Maharaj lit the auspicious fire to commence the start of the yagna. The yagna celebrates the Akshardham Mahamandir, a landmark of Hindu architecture and culture on Western soil. So, let us all come together and become fulfilled by embracing this unique opportunity of participating in a Vedic yagna.
Now that we understand what a yagna is and its significance, let's learn what guests will experience during this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
ઘણા સમયથી અક્ષરધામ મહોત્સવ થશે એવી વાતો સંભળાતી હતી, તેની ઈચ્છા પણ હતી અને મહોત્સવ નજીક આવી ગયો. તો એવું હતું કે સ્વામીશ્રી જે કંઈ આયોજન કર્યું છે એ બધા આયોજનમાં આપણે ભળવું છે, મારે અને મારા પરિવાર સાથે. અને એમાં આજે યજ્ઞનું આયોજન થયું એ તો એટલું અદ્ભુત કે હવે આ યજ્ઞ મારે મારા બાળકોને બતાવ્યું તો આ દેશમાં તો ક્યાંથી બતાવો. અને બીજું કે અક્ષરધામ મહોત્સવ ઉપક્રમે યજ્ઞ છે, અને ત્રીજું કે સ્વામીશ્રીની પ્રત્યેક ઉપસ્થિતિમાં યજ્ઞ થાય છે. એટલે આ યજ્ઞમાં તો કોઈ પણ ભોગે જોડાવવું જ જોઈએ. અને જ્યારે યજ્ઞમાં બેઠા અત્યારે દિવ્ય અનુભવ થયો છે, ખૂબ આનંદ થયો છે કે યજ્ઞમાં અમે જોડાયા.
This reminded me when our parents used to take us to yagnas when we were younger, and today we had the chance to bring our kids to participate in the yagna as well. And by bringing them to the yagna, they were able to learn about our Hindu tradition of what the yagna is about, how to participate in yagna, what to do in a yagna. Also, they had a lot of fun doing it. But most of all, they got attached to what Akshardham is about. It's not only about building Akshardham, but how Akshardham is building kids from a young age and putting the sanskars in them, putting the cultures in them, and putting moral values in them.
અને જે બધા વોલિયન્ટર્સ હતા એ વોલિયન્ટર્સ બહુ પ્રોએક્ટિવલી દરેક વિધિમાં અમને બહુ સારી રીતે હેલ્પ કરતા હતા, બહુ સારી રીતે સમજાવતા હતા, અને કોઈ પણ વિધિ મિસ ના થાય અમારાથી કે આગળ પાછળ ના થાય એનું એ લોકો બહુ સારી રીતે ધ્યાન રાખ્યું. તો આ જે આયોજન છે એની વ્યવસ્થા ને બધું બહુ જ સરસ હતું.
Also feel spiritual vibrations and the vibrations of peace from everyone around you who must have felt the same feelings as we felt whilst doing the yagna together as a family, as a one world family for world peace.
વોલેન્ટિયરની વાત કરીએ તો રજિસ્ટ્રેશનથી માંડીને છેક યજ્ઞ પત્તા સુધી જે અમને સગવડ આપી છે વોલેન્ટિયર્સે. મારે 2.5 વર્ષનું બાળક છે અને અમે ત્રણેય સાથે બેઠા હતા. યુઝ્યુઅલી ડીશમાં 2 નાડા છડી હોય, અને જ્યારે કંકણ બંધન આવ્યું ત્યારે મારા મનમાં એવો વિચાર થયો કે કંકણ બંધન એટલે એક રક્ષા કવચ છે. તો એ મારા બાળકને બાંધું, અને આ સૌ પ્રથમવાર એનો યજ્ઞ હતો વિશ્વ શાંતિ. તો સામેથી જે સ્વયંસેવક હતા એ સામેથી આવ્યા અને નાડા છડી આપી. તો એ મારો જે સંકલ્પ હતો એ પૂર્ણ થયો.
You feel a sense of peace and Shanti.
I think that we're so lucky that whether it be in London, Paris or North America, that Mahant Swami Maharaj has inspired millions of us to participate together in yagnas, so we can instill traditions that will ever last through generations to come.
If we wouldn't have taken a part in this yagna, I'm sure we would have missed 50% of the experience while being in this Mahotsav.
It's definitely not to be missed. I think we should take part in a lot of Mahapujas, but this is so much different and it's so divine. You get connected to Akshardham, you get connected to everyone around you, and it's something that if you're here, you have to take part in it to understand our traditions.
આ યજ્ઞમાં બેસવાથી પહેલાં તો મનમાં ખૂબ જ શાંતિ મળી, જે શાંતિનો અનુભવ આઈ થિંક ઘણા વર્ષો બાદ મને થઈ રહ્યો છે કે આવું અદ્ભુત વાતાવરણ, આવા બધા દિવ્ય ભક્તોની સાથે બેસીને યજ્ઞનો લાભ મળ્યો.
As you can see, the yagna is one of the highlights of the Akshardham Mahotsav experience. Next, we'll venture into the vibrant world of the Festival of Inspirations programs. From riveting performances to captivating workshops, each event is a celebration of life and creativity. Come, explore this week's highlights and immerse yourself in a blend of tradition and inspiration.
Every hand holds the power to shape our world. Every act of service ripples out, touching lives and transforming societies. At BAPS Akshardham and in BAPS centers worldwide, service is a way of life, a spiritual discipline passed from one generation to the next. As we continue our journey through this festival of inspirations, we remember answering the call to service is not one and done. It is a lifelong commitment. Service is our duty to our home, our neighborhood, our community, our country, and our world.
Satyam, Satyam, Shivam, Shivam, Sundaram.
Why should we not be grateful for the country that we now live in? So now this country has given us so many opportunities. Why not be grateful to the country that has given us our new home, freedom? It has given us business opportunities. It has given us prosperity. It has given us education and safety and a bright future for our children. Why not be grateful and serve our nation? Because Pramukh Swami Maharaj often used to say that always help and serve the nation that you live in. That is also a form of dharma. While we're celebrating this festival of inspiration here on this ground, somewhere you'll find a young man by the name of Suraj Trivedi. You may not recognize him because he'll be serving food and volunteering to serve food in the kitchen here somewhere on the grounds. You won't recognize him, but he is a commander in the US Navy. And when he was choosing his career, he approached Pramukh Swami Maharaj to ask him what career he should take. Pramukh Swami Maharaj is the one that told him that serve your country by enlisting in the US Navy. Today, he is the commander in the US Navy.
On behalf of BAPS Charities, we would like to present a check to the Rapid Response Partnership of Mercer County. The Rapid Response Partnership of Mercer County is a county-wide task force that is designated to organize and respond to incidences of high complexity.
Enter the gates here, we enter a community of absolute beautiful spirit. And as I would say, actually I'm going to rephrase it, as you would say, I believe you call it Sada Das, your ability to always serve. This check today is a gift to us of you guys helping us, helping you. Meeting your culture, there is not much different than you have. I've noticed we have doctors directing traffic, cleaning dishes. We have engineers driving trucks. There is no ego in this campus. You serve, and everybody here is a stakeholder.
I'm State Assemblyman Rob Karabinchak, and I'm absolutely honored to be with you here today at the Akshardham. I had the honor to be here in 2018 to tour the facility and watch it as the foundation was being built for the temple. I had the honor to be here today and take the tour and see the magnificent work and the volunteers, millions of hours that have come to be what we see here today. In my life, I've had the opportunity for over 20 years ago to meet and be able to be a part of the BAPS community in Edison, New Jersey. I have cultivated hundreds, if not thousands, of friends who have taught me the religion, the patience, and how to be good with each other. That's our life journey together. We make each other better as one. All I know is that my life has been better with meeting the BAPS community and everyone here.
पूरक महंत जी को अभिवंदनम वंदनम 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 अभिवंदनम करे हम हृदय से अभिवंदनम.
See, over time we want to become stronger, we want to become wiser, we don't want to become weaker because of difficulties in our life. And our values, they give us direction, and they act like a true north. You know, Hindu Dharma, that's why it says that we should only live a life with values. That's the only one that's worth living. And I want to end with a simple thought, but it's really simple. Think about this. If you make a value-based decision in a very difficult time, which makes it easier to handle, and then you repeat that process over and over and over again, that develops into resilience. It makes you stronger. It makes us able to handle all these tough situations. In the Mahabharata, there's one final quote I want to end with. Dharmanugo gacchati jiva ekaha. What do we take with us when we go? Nothing that we see around us goes with us. But our Hindu Shastras say that our values and morals that we chose to live by, that is what comes with our soul. Yes, it gives us stability in this life, but also it gives us so much more. It allows us to live a life that can inspire so many other people. Just like the boy who pulled away from doing something that was bad and made a critical decision at a critical time, we too can do the exact same thing. Just like the wife who was able to handle a very difficult situation in stride, we too can do the exact same thing. And it's because of young and old people like this, and the thousands of you sitting in this audience, that I am extremely optimistic about this world and about where we are going. Why? Because of something my late guru, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, said. The future is bright. When you think about that statement, I heard that decades ago. Right now, I see that the future is bright. It's when all of us can choose to make value-based decisions day in and day out. Not only does it make our life better, but we have the potential of touching the lives of so many people. And that's why I pray today to Bhagwan Swaminarayan and my Guru Hari, Mahant Swami Maharaj, that all of us can continue to make value-based decisions so that the ripple of these choices can form a massive tidal wave and impact the world with love, harmony, and a bunch of peace. And I hope that all of us can gain the courage day in and day out to live by a value-based, decisioned life, so that way we can take this festival of inspiration and truly bring it to life. Thank you.
જે કારકિર્દી પસંદ કરો, whatever you may choose, teacher, lawyer, જે કારકિર્દી પસંદ કરો તેમાં રહીને સમાજની સેવા કરી શકાય. શિક્ષક બનીએ, ડૉક્ટર બનીએ કે એન્જિનિયર બનીએ, તે બનીને પણ સમાજની સેવા થાય જ છે. સારા શિક્ષક, સારા ડૉક્ટર બનીએ તો સમાજની સેવા જ છે. સારા શિક્ષક બને, સારા ડૉક્ટર બનીએ તો કેટલાને સારા ડૉક્ટર, એમને નહીં પણ સારા ડૉક્ટર બનીએ તો સમાજની સેવા જ છે.
नारायण अक्षरधाम को करे हृदय से अभिवंदनम. संकल्प करता
None of what you have already seen would be possible without the efforts of our selfless volunteers. In our upcoming segment, Voices of the Volunteers, we honor these committed individuals. These volunteers embody the spirit of selfless service, ensuring a clean and serene environment for all guests. Let's honor their commitment and take a glimpse into the world of our parking volunteers.
Circle 1. There's a car broken down. Event parking. Please, we need help.
Copy that. I'm on my way. So we have a situation farm where someone, I think, has a battery issue. So we're gonna go check it out and see what the actual issue is and try to figure out if we can solve this issue by ourselves or we have to call AAA or something like that. But most likely we should be able to resolve this issue by ourselves. Hey, how's it going? What's wrong with the car?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it started, but it's not cranking, so I think maybe the battery may be
Okay,
dead.
let me call in for help. Yeah, we need a help by parking F6 for someone with a battery issue. Please come in right now. With this particular department, I think is helping out in person itself, right? So it's pretty minor stuff sometimes. As people come in with the battery being lost because they just go and rush to do things, right? So we come in and help out in that terms, and also sometimes people leave their keys as well. So we try to have machinery or help out in terms of that. Just take the keys out and so they can go home safely. I think end of the day we want to have them to have come have a great experience in terms of starting from parking lot, right? When you come into Akshardham, right? So it's you come in, you greeted them, basically find them a right spot to park, right? For safety parking as well, right? So you don't want them to trip around somewhere, keep going in the direction they're going, and that's the whole thing, right? And by the end of the day, they want to go home safely as well when they get out from the campus. So in terms of volunteering in here in parking department, I think one of the main things you need is patience, right? Each person, they're coming to do, have the best experience, right? And we want to leave them with the best experience, right? So I think if you be a little bit patient with them, sometimes it helps them to basically, have them good experience as well, right? Like I said, parking is where they're first gonna see us, right? And that's the last place where they're gonna see us, right? That's the best experience they want to have, right? Leaving here and coming in here, right? Whether they have we want them to have great experience inside as well, but I think we want to leave them as something to remember, right? And if it starts with parking, right, I think it's a great experience, right? They leave with some sort of happiness when they come in, and even leaving that, if we tell them the right way to go safety way, they feel they are safe as well when they come in and when they get out. I mean, we met all type of different people coming into parking lot. Our main thing is to keep it calm, and we'll get through the day as we go through. And I think having that that thought in the mind, that be patient, everyone's here just for that experience, right? So that remembering that is very important for all of us in parking team. So working through each of those parking team member is very good experience in terms of we are having fun at the same time, right? We're not all serious about it. We want to have a joke around each other, and we want to have everyone to have a good experience, not only us, but even the people that come in, outsiders, visitors, right? And to have that fun going through the parking team is the best.
Now, let's shift gears and embrace the infectious enthusiasm of our junior hosts in this week's Kids BAPS Newscast. These young explorers guide us through their unique perspective, weaving a narrative filled with curiosity and joy. So let's now hear from our junior correspondent and have them take the lead. Over to you, young friend.
Hello friends, I'm Pragnish and welcome back to the BAPS Kids Newscast. A lot has happened over the last week at the Festival of Inspirations. Kids from all across America have came to be a part of the Akshardham Mahotsav. We saw kids come and see the Akshardham Experience Tour. We saw kids on stage dancing and showing off their talents. We saw kids speak in front of Maharaj. And of course, we got to eat some yummy food. Here at Akshardham, there are a ton of cool things to see. Me and my brothers recently went to visit our favorite person on campus, Nilkantwarni. Check out our visit with him. That was a fun trip. For our next part, we will answer your questions. Here are common questions answered on our BAPS Instagram page.
Namaste. Have you ever been to a Hindu temple and wondered why everyone takes off their shoes? Let me explain. You see, in Hinduism, the shoes are considered impure because they touch the ground, which is dirty. The ground is symbolic of the impurities of our material world. So, when we enter a temple or even a friend's house, we take off our shoes as a sign of respect and a small gesture that we want to keep that place pure. We believe that a temple, or a mandir as we call it, is a sacred place. When we take off our shoes, we leave behind our worldly distractions and step towards the divine. I hope this helps you the next time you decide to come to a mandir.
That's it for me today. Thanks for watching this week's BAPS Kids Newscast.
Now, let's change the lens a bit and turn our attention to the experiences of those who have attended the Festival of Inspirations. In our upcoming segment, Voices of the Attendee, we bring to the forefront the rich tapestry of experiences and stories from attendees. Each voice is a testament to the impact and resonance of Akshardham's cultural offerings. Let's dive in and listen to these compelling narratives.
It's not the number of breaths you take in your life. It's the number of times your breath gets taken away. And I would say today, when I went behind those walls and I saw what was being built, and I realized it was being built by volunteers, and I realized that it was built overseas and brought here and put back together like a jigsaw puzzle by people who had never done that before, it really told me that this is the eighth wonder of the world, and not just because of the structure, but because of how it happened. So I walk away today as someone who lives 5 miles from here, watched this happen from the ground up through the trees, not necessarily, on the inside. And I get to come here and watch it almost at its conclusion. And I will go home tonight and scratch my head and say, how did they do this? How could this have happened?
Not too many of us have the opportunity to go travel in India to actually experience that culture. But this right here, like, you don't have to travel. You can just come here and you're getting, I feel like I got a lot of history.
I think this is a living example. I think after 100 years, after 500 years, we'll all remember the sacrifices people have made, leaving their jobs, leaving their studies, their businesses, their practices.
Volunteerism is also something which is, volunteerism with devotion. This sort of devotion is hardly seen in other areas that I have been exposed to. All the people who are here, they exude so much of devotion that, I'm truly blessed to have that sort of experience.
And I witnessed this today. You have volunteers who have left their jobs to come here to build a future. They've given up their professional career for a period of time to do this. And to get somebody to do that, they have to believe in the mission, and they have to believe that the outcome, not just for the community, but for themselves, will be better long term.
The overall experience of seeing all the volunteers together, folks from all over the United States visiting, I think that show of support, the blood donations that are going on right now, seeing the others in yourself and seeing yourself in others so that you can bring unity about, I think that's really important today. I think all of it just really is just inspiring. And I think that guides us to that goal of unity that we heard today.
જે અક્ષરધામ છે ને એ એક લેન્ડમાર્ક હિસ્ટોરિકલ લેન્ડમાર્ક છે ઇન ધ વર્લ્ડ. Not only Hindus, not only Indians, I believe that all the religion people around the whole world will come here to visit. That is the kind of a spirit and vibration we have.
No matter who you are, what religion, whatever it is, you are welcome, and it's gonna feel like home when you come here, and you should definitely come check it out, and you will have a great time, I promise you. Also, the food's great.
It brings us all together. Like I said, the one thing that as soon as I got here, I felt at ease. I felt peaceful.
It felt normal. No, everybody felt like one big happy family, and it was just a great experience here, seeing all that.
આજનો આ જે હતો કે બી ડિફરન્ટ, સક્સેસ ડિફરન્ટ, થિંક ડિફરન્ટ ઉપર જે મેઇન હતું, તો એનાથી હું એ શીખી છું કે આપણે ઓલવેઝ લાઈક ડિફરન્ટ, કે બધાથી કઈ રીતે ડિફરન્ટ બની શકીએ. તો એના માટે એ છે કે આપણે જે વિચારીએ છીએ, જે આપણે કરીએ છીએ, એમાં આપણે ડિફરન્ટ રહેવું પડશે. આપણે ઓલવેઝ આપણી વેલ્યુ છે એ આપણે રાખવી પડશે. ફેમિલી વેલ્યુથી લઈને કે આપણે જે ઓફિસમાં કામ કરીએ છીએ, સ્ટડી પાર્ટનર છે, આપણા બધા જોડે જે આપણી વેલ્યુ છે આપણે બહુ સારી રીતે રાખવી પડશે.
कि नॉलेज को लाइव देखने के लिए मैं यहाँ पे आया था, और आज का कॉन्फ्रेंस में कुछ ना कुछ तो मैं अपने जीवन में परिवर्तन करने के लिए कुछ यहाँ से लेके ही जा रहा हूँ.
The most important thing जो आज दी लेगी is how fundamental your values should be, value stance. ये बहुत important मन लगी.
अच्छी बात जो मुझे अच्छी बात लगी वो थी प्रॉस्पेरिटी थिंकिंग, और जो पॉवर्टी थिंकिंग का डिफरेंस उन्होंने समझाया कि हमेशा कोई भी सिचुएशन में प्रॉस्पेरिटी थिंकिंग होनी चाहिए.
કે ફેલિયર ફરી લાઈફમાં આવે તો વી વિલ ટ્રાય ટુ ફેસ ઇટ. બિકોઝ અત્યારે આપણે કેવું ફેલિયર આપણે જોયા ના હોય તો આપણે બેઝિકલી શું કરીએ કે સેટબેક થઈ જાય, સેડ થઈ જાય, જે અહીંયાથી આમાંથી આપણને શીખવા મળશે. અને જે બીજું વસ્તુ છે કે ટોલરન્સ, આજકાલના યુથમાં હોય છે કે એ ટોલરેટ નથી કરતા. સો આ એક વસ્તુ મને જાણવા મળી કે ટોલરન્સ વિલ હેલ્પ યુ અ લોટ.
આખું જ લેક્ચર એકદમ પ્રેરણાપૂર્વક જ હતું, પણ ધ મોસ્ટ ઇમ્પેક્ટેડ સેન્ટેન્સ વોઝ કે ટ્રાય અન્ટિલ યુ ગેટ સક્સેસ. એમ મારી લાઈફમાં અત્યારે આઈ એમ ફેઝિંગ અ સિચ્યુએશન કે મારે એક્ઝામ અપિયર કરવાની છે મારી મેડિકલ લાઇસન્સની, બટ મને ડર લાગે છે અપિયર કરતાં પહેલાં. પણ આજે મને એનો આન્સર અહીંયાથી મળી ગયો કે જ્યાં પડશું તો ખરી જ, પણ પડ્યા પછી ઊભા થવું ઇઝ મોસ્ટ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ. તો એ વસ્તુ મને અહીંયાથી આન્સર જે મળ્યો ને એનાથી મને અત્યારે હવે વધારે હિંમત આવી છે કે ના, હું આ ડિસેમ્બરમાં અપિયર કરીશ. ભલે કદાચ હું એકવાર પાછળ પડીશ, પણ પાછી હું ઊભી થઈશ ને તો એફર્ટ આપીશ ને તો એટ ધ એન્ડ તો મને રિઝલ્ટ મળશે જ.
The program's theme was My Country, My Duty, and it really resonated to me as an Indian American, learning more about our civic duty and being able to vote and participate in our country's affairs.
So to me, I had a grandfather that was actually a veteran. So basically to me, it just means being selfless for something bigger, not just yourself, like your country or your community, and really putting yourself out there to better other people.
After seeing the FOI program, I'm intended to take out more time to serve others. Seeing all these volunteers take out time from their job or from their school to help others just inspires me to be the best version of me that I can be and give back to my community.
I am inspired after this festival to be more selfless, serve my community, and see more divinity in everyone.
Hearing these personal stories from our attendees, it's evident how this festival and the broader BAPS community has had a profound impact on countless lives. In our upcoming segment, BAPS in the Community, we take a look at the transformative work undertaken by BAPS charities and its dedicated volunteers, both in recent times and in past milestones. In this week's community segment, we spotlight the LA Food Drive. Hundreds of volunteers made a difference, helping thousands of individuals in need. Stay with us as we continue to spotlight BAPS in the community.
It's such a humbling moment to have BPS Charities partner with us. We're the little guys, so we're just out here passing out hot meals and cold waters. But to partner with a huge organization like that, it really humbles my dad and I. It was actually our dream. Like, they didn't know BPS Charities reached out to us. They didn't know how much we were looking forward to it, and it happened. So we were ecstatic. We started during the pandemic, and we noticed when all the homeless shelters shut down in Los Angeles County, we noticed that there was a lot more unhoused people in Los Angeles that were starving due to the pandemic. So there's a definite need to be out here every Sunday, and we're going to continue just doing just that.
So I think the importance of efforts like what we did today was that oftentimes there are efforts being taken to feed the unhoused individuals in areas such as this in Skid Row, but organizations such as the Good Karma that are doing it are always looking for help, right? So it was really nice that BAPS Charities was able to come out and kind of join forces with them. Earlier they were telling us that this was one of the bigger groups they've had before, and due to that we were able to cover more ground. So in this radius, the majority of the unhoused individuals were able to get food, hot food, water, Cliff Bars, bananas, whatever it was they need, and you can see that they really did appreciate the efforts that we took.
As we approach the finale of this week's BAPS Akshardham Spotlight, let's focus our minds, silence the external world, and delve inward as we transition into this week's motivational moment delivered by Pujya Chaitanya Murthy Swami.
Currently here in Robbinsville, New Jersey, at the site of the beautiful BAPS Swaminarayan Akshardham, which is on the verge of completion, we are celebrating the Festival of Inspirations. It's important to note that this title includes the word inspirations with an S, because this place, this campus, this Mahamandir, this Akshardham, is a source of all kinds of inspiration. Of course, here you can be inspired to worship and to pray to God. Of course, you can be inspired to introspect and be stronger spiritually. But here you can also learn to live a healthier life. Here you can also learn to be a better citizen. In fact, that was a theme that was discussed during last week's festival programs, being inspired to serve our nation. On January 20, 1961 in Washington, D.C., on the steps of the Capitol building, the newly inaugurated President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, said the immortal words, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country." Why should we not do something for our country? Why not be grateful to the country that we live in? Why not be grateful to the country that has given us so much? It has given us our homes. Our country has given us our businesses, our prosperity, education, safety, a bright future for our children. And also, we should understand that serving our country is also serving our Guru. As Hindus, we know the concept of dharma, doing what's our duty. His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj often used to say that serving our country is our duty. When he said, "In the joy of others lies our own," what he meant to say was that serving our neighbors, serving our community, and serving our country is also a way to our own happiness. It is our dharma. And why should we not serve? Because serving is in our very DNA. If I were asked to sum up the essence of BAPS, the essence of Akshardham, and everything it represents in 2 words, they would be worshipping and serving. Both. To worship God and to serve our community. And what better proof of the passion to serve than this Akshardham that we see in front of us today? Just imagine 12,500 volunteers coming together physically in the United States to make Akshardham happen. There isn't a word in the English dictionary that can describe it, because it's unimaginable, it's unthinkable, it's unbelievable, and it's also probably unprecedented. Find in the history of construction projects where youth have given up their summer vacation to build something so meaningful and so generational. Find in history a project where thousands of volunteers braved all forms of hardships to do something absolutely selflessly. No expectations, no rewards, no recognition, not a single penny. And it is this same passion that has inspired BAPS volunteers to not just make Akshardham, but to also serve the country, to serve their community. These same volunteers in their local organizations or in their localities, in their own neighborhoods, have organized blood drives. They have given thousands of pints of blood to save thousands of lives. These same volunteers that made Akshardham happen have helped in natural calamities, whether it be wildfires in California or tornadoes in Tennessee, or whether it be floods in Houston or a hurricane or hurricanes in New Orleans. These same volunteers during COVID went door to door to deliver food and care packages to the needy. When FEMA needed volunteers to give vaccine awareness, these same volunteers went in the heat of the summer to educate the public to vaccinate themselves. These same volunteers have organized over 900 walkathons in the past 2 decades to help community organizations, to help their local police department, to help their local fire department, to help plant over 361,000 trees, to help support cancer research, to help support diabetes research and women's causes. It is in the very DNA of BAPS devotees to serve the community and to serve the country. So as this festival of inspirations continues, it is important that not just that people come together here in Akshardham and be inspired, but people throughout the world continue to serve their communities and to continue to serve their country. It may not be easy, but let's remember that it's better to choose what is right over what's easy. Mahatma Gandhi didn't just take the easy path in India. Nelson Mandela didn't take the easy path in South Africa. Nor did Martin Luther King choose the easy path in the United States. They chose to make a difference by doing what is right. So as this festival of inspirations continues at the site of BAPS Swaminarayan Akshardham in Robbinsville, New Jersey, let us pledge to serve our families, to serve our communities, to serve our country, and also to serve the world. After all, that is the vision of Akshardham. That is the vision of its creators and inspirers, Pramukh Swami Maharaj and Mahant Swami Maharaj. Thank you very much, and Jai Swaminarayan.
And with that, we reach the end of our inspirational journey for this week. As we say goodbye, it's my hope that the wisdom imparted, the narratives explored, and the spark of inspiration ignited will remain with you in the weeks to come. We look forward to welcome you back to the BAPS Akshardham Spotlight soon. Namaste and Jai Swaminarayan.